Practice is underway here at California Speedway. Half-hour session as usual. We can see two Dodge drivers here, Max Davis and Christian Bracken. They've been performing quite well in recent races. We can see a few other drivers such as Patrick Smith, Jana Fogelman, Leroy Jenkins, and Antonin Charlebois exiting the pits right now to begin their own laps. Hopefully everybody can get a nice good run. We've got three Dodge drivers here heading into turn 3. Hopefully they can help each other out a little bit. Oh crap! Leroy Jenkins gets turned by Christian Bracken and Max Davis gets the worst of it. Oh, that's a horrible accident. He's piling the car, rolling over in turn 3 there. What an absolute disaster. Jenkins able to turn him back onto his tires there, but that's a car park forming there as well. Everybody trying to get past that incident. Oh shit! Oh no, that's the GOAT somersaulting over PK's car after piling into the car park there. He's definitely gonna have to pay for his ticket. And oh dear, everything that could have gone wrong in in turn 3 there did go wrong. I mean, just look how quickly this goes badly for these three Dodge drivers here. I mean, yeah, focusing on Christian Bracken here. So coming into the turn there, and that's just her going too far to the inside where Jenkins is, and nothing Max Davis can do. He just goes along for the ride. A few cars able to get past it. Riley Spurley cutting through the grass. That's fine. Gil Samaya does the same. Here Lyle Austin begins the queue here. Lyle Austin turning up the racetrack. S.p.A, PK, Brittany White, Colin Cropley doing much of the same. Joe Allen on the apron right now. Mo Zane also. And then the GOAT just piles into Mo Zane's car. He gets a piece of Cropley, runs into Brittany White's car, turns S.p.A PK's car over. Joe Allen gets collected. Dylan Abrahamian trying to escape on the apron, piles into Joe Allen's car. There's nothing much else any of these drivers can do. A few people getting by just fine, not least of which Antonin Charlebois, who, did not handle that quite correctly, and a whole piece of sheet metal gets torn off of the side of Harry Langestein's car as well for his troubles. So just as he was about to begin a practice lap here at California Speedway, he's coming right back into the garage. Hell, if the race is like this, it's going to be excellent. Hello everyone, I'd like to give you a very warm welcome to Fontana, California for the Auto Club 500 here at California Speedway. 63 laps around this, one of the fastest tracks in NASCAR, along with Michigan, the two-mile D-oval tracks on the NASCAR calendar. Well, the GOAT's on pole, and that probably gives you an idea of how well this race is going to go down. This is another one of my favorite tracks. It's just really wide. There's lots of space. There's an amazing sensation of speed. It's pretty easy to drive, pretty easy to put in good lap times, but it doesn't mean that the racing itself isn't also excellent because, well, if you're having a good time of it, everybody else is most likely. We'll get straight into the starting lineup then. We got the GOAT on pole, as mentioned. We have Joey Trickle starting alongside. We got Patrick Smith, Eli Wolf, Christian Bracken. Yeah, he was involved in a pretty horrific incident in practice. Right at the beginning there, we could see Max Davis and Leroy Jenkins, who were also caught up in that initial incident. Of course, the GOAT also involved. I'm sure we all saw that. I don't really think we need to go into even much more detail. Just go back and watch it if you need to. We got Daniel Voiles, we got Eric Monaco, Gil Samaya, Max Davis, Samet Özkan, Steve Morgan, Chris Harvey, Riley Spurley, Jana Fogelman, Leroy Jenkins, Arya Taigi, Lucas Evans, Mathis Wells, Reggie Fogelman, Harry Langenstein, Reagan Whitlock, Aga Desata, Sabrina Futlego, Estacio PK, Bob and Floby, Antonin Charlebois, Lyle Austin, Ashley Shotoval, Danny Thomas, Montero Salen, Colin Cropley, Dylan Ebrahimian, Amy Hicks, Brittany White, Alberto Franco, Rocky Johnson, Matthew Burnett, Mo Zane, and rounding out the field, Joe Allen, and as always, Gerald Pepper. So, once again, 63 laps. Let's see here. Having to text family as usual. So annoying when they tell you to do chores and such, you know. Really, really annoying. You just have no time for that. You have more important things to occupy your time. Not least of which, what we're hoping is going to be, as the British say, an absolute cracker. You ever grow up doing something and you think that you're really good at it, but as you grow older and a bit wiser, and you have a little more experience, you realize that it's really not that good at all? Of course, when I was 15, I thought I could pull off a pretty good British accent after watching quite a number of British YouTubers during my early teenage years. That couldn't be further from the truth. Of course, I haven't really tried it with actual British people, but I find it highly unlikely that I could ever fool any of them. Sometimes I get self-conscious about my Spanish accent even, you know. I'd like to think that despite not learning the language till high school, growing up with it and being forced to say at least a few words here and there, before high school obviously, helps me get the accent down pretty nicely, but I still get rather self-conscious about it, and obviously I still mess up the words and such, but yeah, once again, more important things to worry about here. Green flag is out. We are underway here at California Speedway. Eli Wolf immediately stepping out to the outside line here, trying to gain some time and space on a few of the drivers in front of him. Look at the GOAT absolutely breaking away from the field now. Yeah, there we go. 3 wide with Samet Özkan, Eric Monaco, and Eli Wolf through turn 2 there. Down the backstretch there, look, that's an amazing view of all the cars just steaming by. Everybody getting all the way up to speed already. I know it's a fast racetrack when lap 1's only just begun and people are already hitting 200 miles an hour. I feel like people are slowing down already. That's a little strange. But yeah, the GOAT's just absolutely breaking away from the field. Repeat of Las Vegas. Who knows? I'm sure everybody's remembering last race, which the GOAT absolutely dominated here. But yeah, somehow Daniel Voiles is managing to make his way into 3rd spot there. Patrick Smith up into 4th. Chris Harvey up to 5th now. Another good view of the pack here. Flying down the backstretch there, past the rows of palm trees. All 1 rows of palm trees. Yeah. Color commentary, I gotta say. Good stuff there. Yeah, you can see that Patrick Smith and Daniel Voiles have a lot of space to work with as they attempt to get past each other. There's Joey Trickle. Good stuff there. People shifting up towards the outside line here. Interesting tactic, I gotta say. Even in the back of the field, things are quite bunched up. Oh, dude, we got to spin somewhere. That's Lucas Evans around. Dylan Ebrahimian gets collected. Oh, multiple cars involved. Evans rolling onto his roof, just like Max Davis in practice. Not nearly as violently, but that's a caution out. And again, that leaves a lot of questions. to be asked. Oh dear, it's lap 3 and we are already under caution here. And I think right away we get a sense of what went wrong there. Reggie Fogelman continuing to push hard into the turn despite already making contact with Lucas Evans's left rear. And yeah, Evans just goes hard into the wall. Dylan Ebrahimian once again has nowhere to go. Brittany White was collected. Alberto Franco, Rocky Johnson, Gerald Pepper caught up in the mix as well. Let's see if we can get a closer look. So yeah, Evans gets turned around by Fogelman. Hard into the wall on the rear end there. Lots of G's of deceleration, no doubt. Stasia Piquet just barely managed to get by it. Ashley Shadova looks like she got a bit of a touch and ends up going hard into the wall. Meanwhile, yeah, Ebrahimian piles in. Reagan Whitlock gets collected. Ebrahimian's car flies into Allen's and White's. Austin collected. Yeah, Franco, Pepper, and Johnson. Yeah, let's see if we can have a look at Shadowald here a little more closely. Okay, not that way. So yeah, Shadowald goes hard into the wall and collects Cropley. Oh man. Oh man, oh man. Colin Cropley, the unluckiest driver in the field. It takes a lot of effort to be in last place when Gerald Pepper's also in this contest here, but let's ride on board. I think that'll give us a very good view. Here's Reggie Fogelman right there. And Lucas Evans is just slightly visible there. There he goes. And Cropley gets by Evans' car, but Shadowald, who hits up the racetrack, comes down into him. Yeah, it takes him out. Not great. Let's have a look at Ebrahimian. Yeah, that's going to be quite exciting to look at. Okay, Evans spins. And he just has nowhere to go. Joe Allen and Brittany White smashing into his car, which is already totaled at that point. There's Adalberto Franco, who comes to rest right near Evans' car. He's at the back of the field here. You can see there's a... Wait, where's Pepper? So Pepper's all the way back here, and yet he still gets involved. Let's see. You can see Adalberto Franco right there. That's sort of the man that we're trying to focus on here. There's the spin. And apparently Pepper Spotter thought it was the correct decision to travel up the high side of the track to avoid the spin. Yeah, I think somebody's getting terminated after this after this race. And I don't mean fired, I mean terminated. Leaves little room for nuance or discussion, I gotta say. Alright, I think we've seen enough of that. We'll soon find out, of course, who will be good to return to this race. Joe Allen, definitely not. Perhaps Lyle Austin and Colin Crowley can get back into the mix. Reagan Whitlock, it's a possibility that she will retire. Rocky Johnson, Ashley Shadowald, who knows. Brittany White, Gerald Pepper, that all remains to be seen. Adalberto Franco's out of this race. Andy Goat gets picked up by the pace car. It's not a stretch to suspect that Evans and Ebrahimian are definitely out. So yeah, that's that done. So, as you can see, Pepper, Shadowald, Cropley, Johnson, Austin, still in this race. Good stuff there. So, seems that the cars that have retired include Whitlock, White, Evans, Ebrahimian, Allen, and Franco. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, in 10 races, Brittany White has managed to DNF 5 of them. Very good stuff there. That's a 50% finish rate for Brittany White. It's absolute scenes, absolute elation and joy for all the sports bettors in Las Vegas. I tell you what, a lot of people are going to be walking home with coffers full of greenbacks because Las Vegas was offering that bet for some reason. I don't know. Anyways, we'll restart here on lap 8. And when we do, the GOAT will be leading the field, as usual. Right behind we'll have Joey Trickle, Daniel Voiles, Patrick Smith, Chris Harvey, Steve Morgan, Gil Samaya, Sam Özkan, Max Davis, and Riley Spurley in your top 10. Arya Taiki, Jana Fogelman, Eric Monaco, Eli Wolf, Leroy Jenkins, Christian Bracken, Reggie Fogelman, Mathis Wells, Anthony Schraubel, and Matthew Burnitz will remain in your top 20. Yeah. I'm sure that Reggie Fogelman has managed to make himself at least 1 or 2 enemies, possibly at least 6, or hell, 10, 11, something like that. Back underway here at California Speed. Oh, what? Sorry about that, folks. It seems that we were experiencing some technical difficulties there, but as you can see, the GOAT is once again breaking away from the field. They're really doing the, what's it called? It's called the escape tactic in Uma Musume. Of course, there are 4 types, or 4 tactics. Strategies, tactics. Potato, potato. So, of course, there's, well, it translates either to runner or escape, which is where the horse girl, yeah, it's a horse girl, tries to, yeah, escape from the field, basically lead the whole race, get away from everyone, and not have to deal with it. Then there's a leader, basically, which is sort of like the people that come before the runners, or the escapers. So yeah, we sort of use this little thing down there. So like, here's leader, not leader. Here's runner. Here's leader. So leader, you know, hangs up near the front of the pack for most of the race, and then tries to use some energy to get past the runners. Here's what's it called? In-betweener, something like in-betweener. So they hang out in the middle to the rear of the pack. And then near the end of the race, they, you know, have to use a lot of energy to get past these people up here. And then there's chaser, basically the people who hang around at the back and have to find a way to shoot themselves all the way up to the front here. So, yeah, I don't think any of that really applies to NASCAR. You could try to assume so. I think that Junior Johnson was that driver who could, you know, hang out at the back of the field for most of a race, and then, you know, find the right moment to overtake all the cars ahead of him and face little resistance for the race win here. Patrick Smith facing a little bit of resistance, more like aggression from Steve Morgan here. I think Steve Morgan's going to have 3rd spot without too much difficulty. You get an idea of how far apart the GOAT is from Joey Trickle. He's managed to, yeah, eke himself out quite an excellent gap there. Steve Morgan still running side by side with Patrick Smith as we head through turn 3. Joey Trickle just ahead there. Let's ride on board with Samet Özkan, who currently occupies 5th position here. As you can see, Steve Morgan and Patrick Smith have a lot of space to work with. Joey Trickle favoring the inside line down the front stretch, even though the racing line is closer to the outside wall. Steve Morgan falling behind Patrick Smith, so 3rd place is not on the cards for him just yet. But again, take a look at that black dot in the distance. That is the GOAT, already entering turn 4, turn 3. And now it looks like Patrick Smith is attempting to make an overtake here. Joey Trickle stuck on the outside right now. I think Patrick Smith's going to make that position stick. 2-4 Tauruses again. Lots of space to work with down the front stretch here. Who's going to make it to the line first? Patrick Smith. Quite handily. Decent gap. 0.3 seconds. Now 0.1. Yeah, 0.1. Joey Trickle looking like he's falling behind Steve Morgan as well. Nope, Trickle's able to maintain the pace. Chris Harvey catching up to Samet Özkan. Daniel Voila is falling close behind. So yeah, your race order. No surprises here. The GOAT crossing the line in 1st. Patrick Smith, meanwhile, just out of turn 4 in 2nd. Joey Trickle has 3rd. Steve Morgan's 4th. Samet Özkan's 5th. Chris Harvey 6th. Daniel Voila 7th. Gil Samaya 8th. Max Davis 9th. And rounding out your top 10, Eli Wolf, who's managed to get past Eric Monaco for that position. Eric Monaco looking like he's ready to lose 11th to Arya Taiki as well. Christian Bracken occupies 13th. Jana Fogelman's 14th. And Matthew Burnitz 15th. think Matthew Burnett is having a look at Jana Fogelman's position now. Riley Spurley, Leroy Jenkins, 16th and 17th. Jenkins probably about to initiate a full send in typical Leroy Jenkins fashion. Alga Asante running comfortably in 18th. Starsky PK, his teammate, behind in 19th. And 20th is Reggie Fogelman. Another Hendrick car. I swear I might have said Hendricks at some point. Colin Cropley's managed to make his way up into 25th. Or something. Good stuff there. Rocky Johnson, Asher Schonewald far behind the field. And, well, Gerald Pepper's been lapped for the first time in this race. And something tells me that this won't be the last time. In fact, there will probably be a plethora of lappings for the poor number 83 driver there. An absolute joke in a joke of a car. So Steve Morgan's been able to get past Patrick Smith for third spot for now. Chris Harvey's up into fifth place, managing to get past both Voiles and Özkan. Well, actually, I think he was already past Voiles when we last saw him, so good stuff there. But now it looks like he's able to get past Patrick Smith as well, following right behind Steve Morgan, who's in third position right now. Got my coffee as usual, and we're gonna drink it. Very good stuff here. Really wish it were Wilkins coffee. Can't go wrong with Wilkins. But I suppose that an impressively horrifying cocktail of Starbucks and Costco Colombian coffee will have to do the trick there. There's Gerald Pepper getting massively in the way of Gil Samaya and Daniel Voiles. In fact, Gil Samaya actually getting the better of that because he's able to take position from Daniel Voiles. Max Davis looking like he was almost held up for a moment there. It seems that Eli Wolf was able to get past him for 9th position there. Eli Wolf now challenging Daniel Voiles. These are two cars that you're constantly seeing fighting each other a few times this season. But yeah, that's Max Davis up in the 10th. Eric Monica's down to 11th. Christian Bracken the 12th there. Gerald Pepper again, getting lapped there. Arya Takey's still in, well, actually he's down at 13th. Once again, we have the two Evernham Dodge cars running side by side here. And Matthew Burnett in 14th, who has an opportunity, of course, to get himself up into 11th. As long as he bides his time and maintains the pace. Joey Trickle is starting to create a gap between himself and Steve Morgan, who once again is in third spot here. Asher Schonewald, Rocky Johnson running at the back of the pack there. And the GOAT is slowly but surely catching up to them. There they are, entering turn 3 as he exits turn 2. Here's the good Europe blimp overhead. Good stuff. So, we're at the third waypoint of this race here, and things have been rather quiet. The GOAT just in a league of his own. The most exciting thing really to happen besides that crash on lap 3 is the fight between Steve Morgan and Patrick Smith for third spot. Yeah, sorry again. These long pauses are actually caused by my having the chat with my family in the typical group chat that your family probably has somewhere. Maybe it's on WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger. We're all old-fashioned. We all have iPhones. We just use iMessage. It's all good stuff. And once again, I need to finish this coffee before it gets cold. A 40-second lap time for Patrick Smith there. I mean, just compare that to the GOAT's fastest of a 37.8, and it seems that the drivers behind the GOAT are, they seem to be lapping rather slowly. 39.6 for Joey Trickle. The GOAT, meanwhile, 38.6 turns out to a 38.5. So the GOAT is lapping a second faster than second place here, and all the rest of the people that you can find in the top 10. In fact, look at all these 39.6s. 39.7s, a 40 again for Davis, 39.8 for Bracken, 40 for Tyke. Not great stuff there. Matthew Burnett was able to get past Eric Monaco. Eric Monaco moves to the inside to retake the position. Gosh. Man. Nothing worse than lukewarm coffee. Besides cold, possibly. Man, look at these consistent lap times. 38s all across the board there. Man. I got stuff to be proud of, I tell you what. I don't really talk like this, I gotta say. Now we're having a three-way battle for second place, more like. Joey Trickle clearly shaving off some pace here. Patrick Smith and Steve Morgan once again run side by side for third position here, but both of them look like they have an opportunity to wrestle second away from Joey Trickle. What remains to be seen here is if anybody else is going to be able to lead this race here, if the GOAT's just going to, again, give us a repeat of his Las Vegas performance, lead from pole every single lap, get those extra 10 points, along with the race win, of course. As you can see here, Steve Morgan went for fighting for second to losing fourth place to Samet Özkan. Defending from the outside from now. Yeah, not a lot of action up here at the front either. There's Chris Harvey. A lot of these guys just been following each other for quite a while, and it seems as if now we're finally having some people stepping out, demonstrating at least a little sliver of courage, something like that, to try to get some positions here. Again, lots of space to work with, and apparently not the pace. Patrick Smith with nose and then a full car length on the inside. Not really a full car length, but they're neck and neck, and Patrick Smith, yeah, again, we'll call it a nose. Nose in front, one body in front. Patrick Smith moves up into second place here at California. Steve Morgan going to follow behind and take third from Joey Trickle, who clearly just did not have the right line on lap 26 there. He's going to fall back into fourth here. Samet Özkan runs fifth behind him. Daniel Voyle is able to get past Chris Harvey. Chris Harvey, who was trying to get past, was it Steve Morgan? Or Samet Özkan? I forget, but Gil Samaya continues to run in 8th position. Eli Wolf has 9th. Max Davis still runs 10th. Good stuff from him. Christian Bracken's 11th. Ari Itaiki's 12th. Matthew Burnett's 13th. And Eric Monaco 14th. Again, Burnett and Monaco still fighting for position there. Burnett able to get in front, almost, through turns 3 and 4, and I think he'll have secured that position without much trouble or effort here. Gil Samaya, meanwhile, having a look on the inside for 7th space. Yeah, 7th space. Yeah, I know, right? 7th position. Diving deeper into turns 1 and 2 there. Down the back side by side. Love to see it at California Speedway, especially if it's the final lap and it's the top 2. But for 7th place for now, Gil Samaya is going to be content with the overtake. Good stuff. You expect the Jasper Motorsports cars to perform exceptionally at racetracks with long straightaways like this one, but it seems as if Patrick Smith and Steve Morgan for now have their setups a little bit more dialed in here. Chris Harvey, you could see, is looking like getting back at Gil Samaya here for now. Gerald Pepper's going to hold up Gil Samaya and make that job much more easier for Chris Harvey. Samaya's not going to be pleased with Gerald Pepper at all. I think most people might agree that Gerald Pepper just needs to be parked for the rest of the season and replaced with a faster driver, because he continues to get lapped again and again there. Eli Wolf came within very close distance of just ramming into him and causing another caution. But yeah, Gerald Pepper now 2 laps down. We are approaching the halfway point of this race. Where is the GOAT? As you can see, Austin, Sal, and Hicks, Flobo, Zane, Wells, Lego, Schallblock, Cropley, Langestein, PK, Thomas, Sato, Fogelman have all been lapped by the GOAT, so we now only have 17 cars left on the lead lap. Leroy Jenkins, the last of those. Riley Spurley and Jana Fogelman ahead of him. They're also looking vulnerable now to being lapped by the GOAT. And if there's anything the GOAT demonstrated in Las Vegas is that he can, you know, he can lap cars pretty normal if you want to. He's able to get past Colin Crowley without nudging him off. So we're at the halfway point of this race. GOAT's gonna lap Jenkins, lap Spurley, and Jana Fogelman in the space of one turn. Absolutely scintillating moves there from the GOAT. Burnett and Monaco are next. Monaco able to get past Burnett again, and Gerald Pepper once more to be lapped for the third time. Burnett makes a move to the inside. Max Davis down to 12th, behind Bracken and Tyke. Not sure what's gone wrong with Davis there. I said the GOAT inserting himself into the mix. Irrespective of whom comes out better from this fight between Monaco and Burnett, the GOAT's just going to squeeze his way past. Not worry about that at all. It's not his issue whatsoever. 13th and 14th don't concern him in the slightest. 12th, 11th, and 10th are next on what we keep referring to as the chopping block. But yeah, Samaya once again able to get past Harvey. Voiles challenging Özkan for 5th here. I think he's going to have that position. Patrick Smith, meanwhile, building a gap between himself and Steve Morgan. Joey Trickle trying to follow closely behind as best as he can here. Daniel Voiles still running with Samet Özkan here for position. The GOAT laps Davis, Tyke, and Bracken again in one turn. 3 cars in one turn. He's just absolutely dominating the field here. No, there's not going to be any real challenge for the GOAT. I think as long as he continues to, again, just wheel the car normally and not do anything stupid, he is going to run away with the race win here today. No problem at all. It's a foregone conclusion, I got to tell you. It's what the French call a fait accompli. Can't speak French. Not going to pretend that I do. So yeah, now only 9 cars left on the lead lap. Eli Wolf, the last of those. And the GOAT's just going to go blow right past him. Easy stuff. As you can see, Daniel Voiles has secured 5th position for now. Samet Özkan down to 6th now under pressure from Gil Samaya. Chris Harvey falling behind. And well, here comes the GOAT, and I bet Harvey's probably hoping that he should have brought his brown pants. Chris Harvey definitely wishing that he's brought his brown pants, because here comes the well, the car of the Intimidator. Oh man for Chris Harvey. The GOAT gets past him. He gets past Özkan. He gets past Samaya. He's right behind Voiles. Steps out from Voiles. Beautifully executed slingshot maneuver there. Now only the well, top 3 in a sense. Trickle, Smith, and Morgan fighting for 2nd spot there. Shadowald about to be lapped once again. I believe that's Johnson in front as well. There we go. GOAT's gonna hang around on the outside. He gets past Johnson. He beats Trickle. He beats Smith. Will he beat Morgan? Oh, easy stuff there from the GOAT. Oh man. Oh dear. That brings tears to my eyes. And few things do that, you know. Every time I watch the ending of The Miracle on Ice, it brings tears to my eyes. Every time I watch Dale Jr. win the 2001 Pepsi 400, I cry. I genuinely cry, but this makes me want to weep bitterly. Look, GOAT is just toying with everybody, yanking everyone's chains. He has lapped the whole field. It's like pitching a no-hitter. Well, to be fair, leading every single lap is actually more of a no-hitter. This would be more like actually, there couldn't be anything worse than a no-hitter now that I think about it. It's like pitching a no-hitter while your team scores grand slams left, right, and center. There you go. How you like that? Yeah, I know baseball. Allegedly. But yeah, okay, here's Joey Trickle trying to get himself back in the third spot here from Patrick Smith. S.p.A up in the sixth past Summit Özkan. Chris Harvey falling behind the number 12 driver. Johnson Schadewald now 2 laps down. Watching the action unfold. And there's Pepper. Oh my, look at how slow he is. 164 miles an hour to the GOAT's 198. 199. I think Pepper managed to break 165 there. To be fair, Gerald Pepper probably did suffer some damage to his engine during the incident, and that might be the cause of his woes. But if that's the case, then really he should just retire from the race. Preserve the parts, fight another day. So, oh, we have the cars on pit road now. We saw some people there already, such as Cropley and Lego exiting, but here are Trickle, Smith, and yeah, these people up in front. Where's Steve Morgan? Did Steve Morgan stay out? Steve Morgan starting near the back of the field, actually. Nope. Okay, your race off pit road here. I think, yeah, Trickle was just barely able to beat Morgan to the line, but Morgan's going to zoom out past him. Smith, Voiles, Samaya, Özkan, Harvey, Wolf, Davis, Taiki. So, not much changing position-wise in the battle off pit road. Here come Bracken, Monaco, Spurley, Sato, Charlebois, PK, Thomas. That's Zane, Wells, and Langestein. So, yeah. Trickle, who was looking like he could beat Patrick Smith for third place once again, finds himself back into fourth after the round of pit stops. Here comes Schadewald and Johnson out of the pits now. Here's Gerald Pepper once again. Not sure if he's pitted already, but yeah. Now Steve Morgan's 2 laps down. Possibly not for long here, depending on if and when the GOAT decides to finally pit here. Yeah, usual. Ooh! The GOAT gives Langestein a bit of a knock there, shoving him out of the way. They run side by side here, which might be an indication that the GOAT should come in and pit here. It was certainly an indication at Las Vegas when he got passed by Eli Wolf, I think. I think that was correct. Then, of course, there was Texas when being passed by Chris Harvey should have been the indication that he needed to pit, but instead Harvey took him out. As Frank Kupers pointed out, it seemed more like it turned into Harvey, and yeah, that's correct. Obviously, Harvey and I had a good laugh about it as well. I think, yeah, I probably could have done a better job of not trying to hog the inside, because, I mean, I was on more tires. I just should have gone in and pitted already. But yeah. Any second now, I think the GOAT's going to come into the pits, make his stop. Oh, there's Gerald Pepper. Okay. Morgan, Smith, Trickle, Samaya, your top 5. There's Voiles, Harvey, Wolf, and Burnett, the rest of the top 10. There's Max Davis, there's R.E. Taiki. GOAT's in the mix somewhere. Again. Driving alongside RCR teammate Mo Zane. Yeah, looking a bit unsettled and having to resort to that outside line. Definitely showing signs of tire wear there. Nothing too major, but still, it's slowing him up enough. You can see he's lapping 39 seconds there. Ooh. Car twitching there. Is Zane able to get past him? And once again, that definitely is all the indication he needs that it's about that time now to head into the pits there. Only able to match Zane's speed down the back stretch. Into turn 3, Zane clearly ahead. Looks like the GOAT's still going to stay out for now. He's going to continue fighting with Zane. Oh, yeah, I think that's what I was going to say. Once again, it's a race where you do have to make a pit stop for fuel. And yeah, tires obviously helps quite a lot of bit as well. It seems as if the short tracks don't require fuel pit stops, but I mean, by being short tracks, they'll most likely require tire pit stops. So, Yeah, at pretty much most of these races, I think at least one pit stop will be mandatory in a sense, because you need to pit in order to have enough fuel to to refill the tank to make it to the end of the race. But as for the short tracks, it seems like pitting is merely a recommendation, a very stern recommendation. So the goat comes down into pit lane here. Lap 46, gonna turn into lap 47. Oh. Where's my water? Let's look at goat's pit stop time here. That's a solid 15.1 for the goat there. Let's see where Steve Morgan's going to end up. Here he comes down the front stretch. He's been passed by Patrick Smith for second spot here, so Smith once again into second. Where's the goat? Where's the goat? Here he comes. Here he comes. Well, 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 how about that one? The goat is able to come out of the pits with fresh tires and enough fuel to make it to the end of the race, but more importantly, he stays out ahead of Patrick Smith, who's already a lap down. So Patrick Smith and the rest of the field are going to remain one lap down. He starts lap 47, but the goat's already on lap 48. Good stuff there. The goat manages to reach 199 before slowing for, yeah. Turns 1 and 2. There are Patrick Smith and Steve Morgan. Steve Morgan stepping out down the back stretch here to retake second spot. Now the two Jasper Motorsports cars, S.p.A and Trickle, the cars you expect to be up at the front of the pack for most of the race, finally into the top 5 now. Well, of course, S.p.A was hanging around in 7th and 8th for a while there. But yeah, look at the rest of your order. We got Özkan down in 6th, Voyle 7th, Harvey 8th, Wolf 9th, and Burnett 10th. Those two still fighting for position there. Max Davis about to insert himself into the action there, running in 11th. Arya Taiki still 12th. Christian Bracken 13th. Eric Monica 14th. And Jadon Fogelman running 15th right now. Leroy Jenkins, Anthony Shaw, while Riley Spurley, Agata Sato, and Sabrina Footlager round out your top 20. Colin Cropley able to make his way to 21st spot there, and he's if he's looking on for that finish there, that could, I think, be his best finish of the season. No joke. Estacia Piquet runs 22nd. Mo Zane and Annie Thomas 23rd and 24th. Terry Langestein 25th. Mathis Wells 26th. Reggie Fogelman, Bob and Flobo fighting for 27th. Montero Sound watching in 29th. Amy Hicks has 30th. Lyle Austin 31st. So that means that, yeah, we don't even need to go to this much detail, but Rocky Johnson in 32nd. Ashley Schadewald, your Daytona 500 winner, 33rd, and last of the cars still running in the race, Gerald Pepper, who's just been lapped yet again by the good. I believe that puts him now 5 laps down. And of course, out of this race, Reagan Whitlock, Brittany White, Lucas Evans, Dylan Ebrahimian, Joe Allen, and Adalberto Franco. Sad times. Okay, things have, okay. Patrick Smith suffering the worst from Gerald Pepper's antics. His antics, of course, being existence, because Smith has shipped so many positions there. He was just in second a moment ago. Or was it third? But anyways, yeah. Austin not causing nearly as many troubles, but Gerald Pepper, on the other hand, completely slowing him down. That is a loss of at least 4 positions for Patrick Smith there. Absolutely disastrous stuff. Well, yeah, okay. He's down into 6th from 2nd. Of course, he could have been in 3rd, actually, and all sounding looks like a dumbass. But the point is, Smith not having a good time there. Now it's the 2 Jasper Motorsports cars in 3rd and 4th this time. This time runs 5th. And it looks like Trickle and Samara are going to attempt to trade positions a few times here. See if they can vie for second spot there. Obviously, it'd be a very good result for Steve Morgan. It's something that RCR and their fans and Good Wrench Chevy fans could be quite pleased with. The 1-2 for the two Good Wrench Chevys, who of course don't like each other at all, I don't think. But yeah, the two Jasper Motorsports Engines cars could very well put a damper on their hopes for that result. But for now, it seems as though Morgan's going to be able to hold on for second place. We're right on board with Gil Samaya. He's going to have the best view of the fight between his teammate and Steve Morgan. Trickle second-guessing himself, wanting to get that move to the inside. Morgan able to cut him off before he can. Trickle not accelerating out of turn 2 nearly as well as his teammate here. Samaya is going to make the overtake. Down the back stretch, it seems like Trickle's going to have the inside line. He's going to have a nose in front. So that's not the case at all for Samaya. Oops. Here's Samet Özkan's onboard camera. 10 to go for these drivers. That means it's 9 to go for the Goats. Samaya and Trickle side by side once again as Patrick Smith has a look for 5th position here. Steve Morgan continues to hold on to second spot here, but once again Samaya and Trickle trading positions. Samaya makes it to the line first. It kind of looked like there was a flag waving. I don't think that was quite correct there, but oh, Trickle not having a good time through turns 1 and 2 there. He's lost position to Samaya already, but it looks like Samet Özkan and Patrick Smith are going to blow past him as well. He's got the pace back down the back stretch here. Now Samet Özkan ready to overtake Gil Samaya. That's very good news for Steve Morgan here, because these 4 cars here are going to be slowing each other up, duking it out for positions 3 through 6. Samaya, Özkan, Smith, and Trickle the order at the line. Özkan and Smith have that inside line now. We've got some lap cars to contend with. Oh, man. My yawning will be preserved for all time because I'm just tired as usual. There's Amy Hicks, possibly the only car that's going to cause them much trouble, if any, so far. Samet Özkan really wrestling here for 3rd, but 3 wide now through turn 1. Smith, Özkan, and Samaya. Samaya falls back. The Jasper Motorsports cars falling behind to 5th and 6th from 3rd and 4th. Both Smith and Özkan have been able to get past Trickle and Samaya. Now really the fight for now is between Smith and Özkan. Oh man. Oh. Ooh. It'd be really funny to find out that my dog were not sleeping on the couch and that she was running around and tearing things up downstairs, but the door's open, so I'd be able to hear if that were the case there. Samaya falling very closely behind Özkan, but falling behind now. Özkan able to settle in front of Smith, who's followed by Trickle. Definitely doesn't mean that this fight is over, though. No cautions after the first one in this race. So it kind of seems as if we're going to end up finishing this race on the green, unless, of course, the GOAT once again causes a caution on the penultimate or final lap and wins the race under caution here. Joey Trickle to the inside. Samaya's falling behind. But Trickle's still trying to catch up with Patrick Smith here. Özkan's going to be flying away from him. Gunning for second spot for Steve Morgan. Steve Morgan, who's able to get past Amy Hicks, it looks like. Again, the two Jasper Motorsports cars trading positions here, but unable to get to Patrick Smith and Samet Özkan in time. Hopefully these two don't have too much difficulty getting past Hicks there, although Smith moves to the outside where Hicks is. He gets behind Özkan briefly there, but nope. Hicks once again in his way. Yeah, that was not a smart move at all for Patrick Smith there, but you can kind of imagine that he didn't have too much choice in the matter. Still managing to hold the two Ford Tauruses behind him at bay. And still looking to get third spot here from Samet Özkan. Gaps are forming between second through sixth spot here. I think we're looking at your finishing positions for this race. Things could get, of course, very exciting at the back of the field. Here comes the GOAT, about to lap Eric Monaco once again. He's in 14th position there. The white flag is out. This is the final lap for the GOAT, who has led from pole, led every single lap thus far, lapped every single other car left in the field, and lapped a good number of them twice. Gerald Pepper 6 laps down in this race. Yeah, he never really stood much of a chance now, did he? Comes around turn 4. Taiki and Bracken in front of him. Even if he's unable to lap them, it doesn't matter nearly that much. The GOAT's heading to victory lane. 2 wins in a row for the number 3. Absolutely wonderful stuff there. Meanwhile, Samet Özkan is up in the second now from Patrick Smith. Was he this whole time? I keep forgetting. I don't know anything about who's where's who anymore. When I get away from the action, we were too busy following the GOAT. It doesn't really matter that much. Steve Morgan looking good for the Chevy Good Wrench. 1-2. Özkan beats Smith to the line. Morgan takes second. Trickle fifth, and Gil Samaya sixth. Good runs from the Jasper Motorsports cars here today. Absolutely wonderful fighting with Özkan, Smith, and Morgan. Morgan didn't have too much to worry about, though. He manages to secure second place. That's definitely going to do him wonders in the point standings, of course, after a string of unlucky results, especially after many good runs. Steve Morgan finally having a very good result to show for it. Of course, he might have had some top 10s or top 5s at some point earlier, but again, I completely forget. Daniel Voiles comes home 8th, 7th. Chris Harvey 8th, Eli Wolf 9th, and Max Davis with a top 10. I think they all have a lot to be very pleased with. The GOAT is certainly pleased with himself here, performing donuts for the adoring crowd of Californians who had to pay $7 for their dozens of eggs, $10 for a hot dog, and $10 every gallon of gas that it took them to drive from your favorite Californian cities such as Sacramento and Los Angeles. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the GOAT with his signature Polish victory lap. He's almost out of fuel, so he's going to have to conserve as much as he can. He's really just going to blow past everybody. It all depends on just how much respect he has for Californians, whom he thinks are terrible drivers, half of whom need to have their licenses revoked and their cars smashed to pieces. The world will be a better place. Just texting the family once again. So, yeah. Obviously, I had a lot of fun driving this race. Look at those lap times. Just a thing of beauty. Slowest lap of 40.3 from Gerald Pepper. 40 from Rocky Johnson. To be fair, there were times when drivers at the top, in the top 10, such as Davis, I remember, and I think Trickle, And we're also lapping 40s, which isn't very good, obviously. But yeah. Hopefully you guys aren't too mad at me for just leading the whole race. Again, this is one of the races that I really just wanted to. Obviously Las Vegas. That was hopefully an obvious foregone conclusion. That I wanted to win that race. As for Martinsville, that was a bit more of a surprise, I have to admit. Probably should have said that earlier, but yeah. I wasn't really expecting to win Martinsville, but the opportunity presented itself. I got really into the groove, and yeah, that's just how it went. So, I have to look at your results first. The GOAT wins today, led every single lap, led the most laps, obviously, for that reason. Steve Morgan, Samit Özkan, Patrick Smith, Joey Trickle, Gil Samaya, Daniel Voiles, Chris Harvey, Eli Wolf, and Max Davis are your top 10 finishers today. All very good results. I'm sure they'll all be very pleased with those. It's definitely going to help them in the point standings, as mentioned. Matthew Burnett, Christian Bracken, R.U. Taiki, Eric Monaco, Jana Fogelman, Antonin Charlebois, Leroy Jenkins, Riley Spurley, Agata Sato, and Colin Cropley round out your top 20. You can see that R.U. Taiki was the last of the cars to complete 62 laps today. Lots of cars were lapped twice, so only completed 61. Sabrina Futlego, Harry Langestein, Anastasia P.K., Annie Thomas, Mo Zane, Mathis Wells, Reggie Fogelman, Bob and Flobo, Montero Salon, Amy Hicks, and Lyle Austin finished 2 laps down today. Asher Schadewald and Rocky Johnson finished 3 laps down. Of course, both were involved in the crash on lap 3. Lap 3? Yeah, it was lap 3, right? Yeah. Gerald Pepper finished 6 laps down today. Terrible result for him, no doubt about that. And, of course, Reagan Whitlock, Brittany White, Lucas Evans, Dylan Abrahamian, Joe Allen, and Adalberto Franco all crashed out on lap 3 when Reggie Fogelman, of course, basically he just dumped Lucas Evans. You know, you can play blame games all we want, but yeah, Reggie Fogelman didn't exactly recover very well from that and had to settle for 27th, despite being in the top 20 at one point that race. So, as you can see from your point standings, Samit Özkan is now your new points leader. He's managed to eke out a 26-point gap between himself and Eric Monaco, who had to settle for 14th spot today. Samit Özkan's third, yeah. Well, he did finish third, right? Again, I have the worst memory. Yep, third place for Samit Özkan, 14th for Eric Monaco. So, yeah. Christian Bracken, third. Patrick Smith, fourth. R.A. Taiki, fifth. Daniel Volas, sixth. And Eli Wolf, who was, he was your points leader, right? Very early on? I think so. All the way down to 7th. Gil Samaya, 8th. Joey Trickle, 9th. Riley Spurley, 10th. And look at the GOAT, jumping from 21st to 16th to 11th after 2 consecutive race wins. 3 in total for him. Chris Harvey runs 12th. Anastasia P.K. 13th. Anthony Charlebois 14th, Reggie Fogelman 15th, Matt Swell 16th, Jana Fogelman 17th, Matthew Burnett 18th, Bob and Flobo 19th, and Ashley Schadewald rounds out your top 20 in the points. Steve Morgan up to 21st today after his second place result, so I'm sure he'll be very pleased with that. Again, making his way up slowly but surely, along with Davis, who sits in 28th right now. Ibrahimian's 22nd, then there's Sato, Jenkins, Sound, Zane, Futlego, Davis as mentioned, Langestein, Thomas, and then your bottom 10, Austin, Allen, Whitlock, Franco, Hicks, Evans, Johnson, Cropley, Pepper, and White. So, yeah, 5 DNFs in 10 races for White, and another pretty piss-poor result for Gerald Pepper. And finally, a semi-decent result for Colin Cropley elevates him out of last place and into 38th there. So, yeah, really, yeah, it all depends on who you think deserves last place more. Pepper, who consistently finishes at the back of the field, and the only reason he doesn't finish in 40th is because people crash out, and Brittany White, who does crash out and sometimes finishes 40th. Oof. Again, the truth hurts. Man. Top 10s. Patrick Smith with 7 top 10s. Özkan, Bracken, Voiles, and Trickle both have 6, and as you can see, they're all in the top 10, so those consistent results really getting them the stuff here. Yeah. 5, 4. Yeah, again, top 10 cars right here. Top 5s, similar story. Yep, laps completed. So that stuff. Laps led. Again, the GOAT just absolutely blowing everybody away with laps led. Of course, it hasn't translated into as many wins, but as you can see, now the GOAT has 3 wins to Monaco's 2. Özkan Smith, Samaya Shadowald, and Sevilla once again share 1. So yeah. I was about to say this was rather short race today, but we did have those technical difficulties, so there are actually 2 recordings that once again guarantee that this video is going to be at least an hour long. Next race, the Pontiac Excitement 400 at Richmond International Raceway. Another short track, hopefully another load of fun. It's been Hannah Food, it's been a time and a half in honor, and I will see you in the next video.